the worst thing you can do, in my opinion, is let things build up and build up and build up, and then have a massive argument. Just, if I'm not happy with something, I just pick up the phone and say, Karl, I'm not really happy about this. This needs improving. And then he'll go away and he'll come back to me and go, I've worked on it and now we've implemented these changes. I go, brilliant. But have that confidence to actually be able to speak to your business partner and just be open.
Okay, guys, we're ready to close the doors. And hopefully the bell stops soon as well.
It's dinner time at the zoo.
Is it just me, or is that bell ringer very aggressive? Is he aggressive, man, isn't he?
Passionate is the word.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
You give him that one job.
Okay, the bell is gone. Okay, guys, so a few of you don't know James or Karl. So just James, if you can kick off, just tell everyone 2 minutes about who are you and a little bit about the success you have had utilizing SEO.
Yeah, so I would like to say, starting off with James from Manchester in the UK. I'm business first, SEO second. Leverage obviously SEO for a lot of the brands that I own. I do quite a lot of investment in different service-based SEO products and services that's out there on the internet. I own quite a lot of my own. I don't do any client work. It's mainly, apart from lead generation. So I'll build my own websites, rank the websites, then look to do lead generation to start with, then start to look then to rent those websites out.
Okay, and Karl?
Yeah, so Karl from Newcastle in the UK, started SEO when I was about 14-year-old. Got involved with casino launching 46 online casinos in the UK. Recently exited in that business, and then during that period, met Dooley about 10 years ago, and now we're like business partners in a lot of ventures and things.
Cool. So as I always say, particular to James, slow down your speech because you do have an accent. But let's kick off. So what are some of the most important changes to make as an operator or as a leader going from 1 million to a $5 million business?
So the first thing that Mads would want me to say is to hire Mads, obviously. A lot of it, I get asked this question quite a lot to start with, and it's like, what is the difference between scaling out the level of what you've done? So we've got over 1,000 different websites which we run online, and a lot of it is just the exact same process. Too many people overcomplicate things and think there's a push-button SEO solution out there, and there's not. You need good quality content, you need topical authority, you need links. And it's just a rinse and repeat strategy from there in making certain that your content quality, your content that you do is quality, that your links you do are quality, that you're not getting toxic links, you're getting trusted and powerful links to the site that are relevant. And then after that, and it's just scaling a team that can implement that. So I'd say the hardest part is going from maybe 5 members of staff to 20 members of staff. And then once you get past the 20 members of staff, it actually starts to become a lot easier because you start getting the middle management system in place. And if people are at that stage, I would actually hire him. I'm not just saying it because I'm here, but I would highly recommend hiring Mads to come and sit down and get the right people in the right roles. A link builder is very different to a content writer with regards to the way that they think. So you try then to put like head of technical in place, head of links in place, head of content in place, head of social media in place. If you run paid ads as well, get someone that's running the paid ads for you, but then you're only dealing with 6 or 7 people within there, and then they're then dealing with maybe 10 members of staff. And if they need virtual assistants, then they are dealing with 4 or 5 members of staff that are virtual assistants that are doing the work. So the main part of it is, it's the same process. It's then trying to get the staff to implement that, get the right middle management systems in place, and then after that, it takes care of itself.
Okay. I think the next one is probably relevant to, sorry, go on.
I was just going to add to that, also don't chase perfection. because that tends to be the main problem as people start chasing perfection and want SOPs to be perfect. Now, yeah, the SOP can be great, but give someone the responsibility, a team member, the responsibility to renew that SOP and keep on top of it, obviously innovate with the SOP, and don't chase perfection at all. Just try to, allow them to do what they do.
Yep. So you guys have both done a bunch of business partnerships. So as a guy saying, I'm going into a business partnership, what make your partnerships work and what to look out for?
So I would say the reason why our two partnerships work so well is we've got a lot of synergy together. We share the same sort of motivation. We're not necessarily all driven by the money, although money is obviously a great motivator for most people. It's more the passion and we absolutely love SEO and sort of developing new ideas, new business ideas and concepts, and then working out what supports that avenue. So what other avenues can you generate income from being inside that niche? What other niches are around it? That also works really well.
I think expanding on that as well is I'm in a position now where I look at my partners a little bit different of, do I like the partner? Can I spend time with them? I'm going to spend a lot of my time now in life with that person. So if I don't like them, then I probably won't do it. But when I first started out choosing my business partners, I always looked at what I was weak at and what my partner was good at, and I need to make certain that what I was weak at, my business partner was good at, so that they can implement, let's say, operational side, and I could deal with sales and marketing. So look for where you're weak at, understand that you are weak at something, and if you don't think you're weak at something, bang your head against a wall, because you will be, and then try to implement a strategic business partner, or it could even be 2 or 3 partners that can then help you elevate to higher levels than what you thought you could do on your own.
Cool. How do you deal with business partnership conflicts?
Honesty. Just everything. I've got a vision statement out there, and everything that I do is honest, trust, and integrity. January this year, me and you had a few disagreements, but you just pick up the phone and speak to them. The worst thing you can do, in my opinion, is let things build up and build up and build up, and then have a massive argument. Just if I'm not happy with something, I just pick up the phone and say, Karl, I'm not really happy about this. This needs improving. And then he'll go away and he'll come back to me and go, I've worked on it and now we've implemented these changes. I go, brilliant. But have that confidence to actually be able to speak to your business partner and just be open. And right from the word go, you need to make certain you've got that honest and integrity to each other to say, I'm not going to let things build up. I will just say it as it is.
And also don't be scared to call them names. And do it face-to-face with them as well. That's also key. Vent to them. Don't vent behind their backs is definitely a key to it.
I think that's a great one, because a lot of time, as you say, people build it up, and they're just sitting there, and they're like, oh, I don't want to break this partnership, so I don't say anything, but actually not saying something is probably the most likely to break the partnership.
Exactly that,
yeah. How do you scale your team with a rank and rent business model? And are you trying to build in-house culture, or are you mostly outsourcing things?
We do both. So I like to make sure I've got a large office in south of Manchester. They're generally speaking where a lot of the heads kind of work together and collaborate with each other. Whether they want staff in the office or not in the office, that's up to them. As long as they're meeting their KPIs and you've got the right systems and processes in place, I'm not bothered if they do 3 days, 4 days, or 5 days a week, as long as they're hitting their goals of where they need to be at. So too many people look at certain time KPIs, but for me, a KPI needs to be set in place for what the output is. And if the output is great, that's fine. So I think going just back, talking about KPIs and stuff like that and strategic partners, a big one between partnerships that start to fail is one partner might be doing 50 hours a week and they expect the other partner to do 50 hours a week. And doesn't have to be the case. If they only want to do 10, 15 hours a week and they're very, very intelligent in the way that they're working smarter and things are meeting their goals of how they need to do it, that should be fine. You've got to kind of let go of that, almost that perfection if you think you need to work 50 hours a week. That's not the case. So just making certain that you set the KPIs and then, generally the team is in-house for middle management. Then we've got a lot of virtual assistants in the Philippines, Bangladesh, South Africa, basically anywhere where we feel that that's the best person to fit that role.
Cool. And how do you guys approach getting new clients for local SEO? So you're obviously either collaborating or working with people as clients in the local space.
So this is the one that a lot of people come to and have come to me at this event and say, I've built a website, I've got it ranking, can't seem to find the clients. Now the truth of the matter is that they don't know who you are. So if you go and send them an email out saying, I've got these inquiries and I'll sell them you at £30 a lead, or I've got this website and I want to rent it out at £1,000 a month, they're just going to delete it and they see it as being spam. You've got to build that trust and relationship up with these business owners. So our first method and strategy is, once we've got the website ranking, let's say it's carpet cleaning, we'll go out to every single carpet cleaning company that might want those leads, every single one of them, and we'll say, we're generating leads on carpet cleaning, is it something that you're interested in? You don't have to pay any money whatsoever for the leads. However, you could give us the price and we'll add 50% margin on top of your price and price it up directly for the client. Do you think that clients would go with your price plus us adding 50% on? Probably 95% of them say, no, that's too expensive. So then at that point, now that they've seen the 50% markup, we then say, okay, we'll send you the leads directly, now add 20% on for us. That 20% now becomes not a bad figure because they've compared it against 50%. Where if you initially just go to them and say, I'm going to send you the leads and add 20% on, they actually start thinking, ooh, 20% is too much. But because then they're comparing it against us saying we'll add 50% on, it now sounds a lot cheaper. And we go out to, and initially, like in the UK, you need GDPR, so we've got a match up in the privacy policy of every single company we're sending them out to. We might find 20 companies that we think these could convert our leads pretty well. We will send it to all 20, and then we'll almost get them fighting against each other. And then the people that are starting to pay us are the ones that obviously are good at conversion. Once they're good at conversion, we then know that we could probably build out a second, a third, a fourth, and a fifth website out specifically for that client. And then that's where we start to do it, where too many people are trying to sell leads or rent the website out with no relationship whatsoever. You need to build that trust, and it probably takes around 12 to 18 months, generally speaking. You're still earning money because you're still getting paid on a back end and on a conversion. But that's kind of the model of what we did, because we had the same problem when sometimes you give leads away and they're still not interested or they've not rang the customer up and stuff like that.
Cool. So there's a couple of questions about sort of business and sort of diversification and so on, and it's a very interesting topic. So, should you focus on just SEO? Is it super dangerous to have a business that's just SEO? How do you diversify? What's sort of the best?
Yeah, so I would definitely look at diversifying, obviously, traffic channels. When we were in the gambling industry, it was very much, it started off with SEO. We got it to a certain level, I think it was about $1 million a month. And then the business really started scaling when we introduced other traffic, like email marketing, paid ads, Taboola, native AdWords, all of these different things. And the great thing with that was we almost became, obviously most people in the room have probably experienced the latest Google updates. You almost become Google update proof, not in the sense that you get hit, you will still get hit, potentially. However, you've got that income and hopefully the ROI from the other ad revenue sources that can kind of see you through it.
Yeah, I think there's two parts there. I think there's one part where a great example of like Jason Hennessy, he kind of focuses just doing SEO just for lawyers. He's got that process down to a T. The staff know exactly what needs to be done when they take on that new client. And he's one of the best around at kind of scaling SEO just for one niche, and that can be a great strategy to do. But then from an SEO standpoint, then I once wrote an article probably 8 or 9 years ago about effective frequency, trying to be found in as many different places as you can. And now when I read that back, I'm like, there's bits of it I wish that we'd implemented where it was like, make certain that you, any pages that are ranking on Reddit that you are kind of optimizing and getting the links back to your site. And now obviously Reddit's exploded and we've not really done that part, but traffic diversity is key. So trying to make certain if you are running PPC that you're doing retargeting on Facebook. Retargeting is one of the cheapest forms of getting people back to the site. Twitter ads and TikTok ads and Pinterest ads are very, very cheap that you can get people through to your website. And actually, that traffic's an indirect ranking factor because those behavioral signals that social media brings through to your site actually massively helps rankings from an SEO standpoint.
Cool. So you guys both have a ton of sites. How much time does it take you to get one site ranking?
Depends on the niche.
Yeah, it completely
Sometimes
depends on the niche. But we actually, at the moment, are in a massive growth spurt, and we actually, in the last 2 weeks, built out 170 new websites in the last 2 weeks. And some of the sites from 10 days ago, now we're generating leads, and we've actually had a client come on to us straight away doing oil tankers and stuff like that in the UK. And they've literally already come on now saying, I want exclusive leads, £2,000 a month, I'm happy to pay for it, already from rankings. So you can actually get it very, very fast if you really niche down. But if you was obviously looking at best casino sites, then it's going to take, for something like that, it's going to take 3-4 years potentially. You need a lot of topical authority, you need a lot of trusted backlinks, you need a lot of branding being done and stuff like that. So it is completely, it could literally be from a very, very niche specific in a certain town and city can be literally within 10 days you're generating inquiries, to obviously large affiliate sites can take years.
Do you guys have any particular criteria for selecting the niches?
Not really. We're in so many niches that we haven't really got much of a criteria. You don't know until you're in the niche. So go into the niche and then test it. It's all about testing SEO. I hope a lot of people in the room have their own independent testing team and are doing tests daily, because that is definitely, within the gambling industry, something that we pretty much did every day. We together would often share ideas with each other, go and test it, see if it works. If it doesn't work, give the feedback. Oh, I tried this differently, this works. That is where like SEO became like a whole other level and ball game for us.
If I change that question back to being with regards to niche selection, we're in, I think there's over 600 different markets, and the highest paying 50 clients that I have, there is no chance I would have chosen. No chance. So sometimes you enter into a market, could be plumbing, roofing, whatever it is, and then you start going down a rabbit hole and you find there's a product or a service within that niche, which then becomes very profitable, so easy to rank for. I'm not going to give any away, obviously, but like so easy to rank for when you start going down that route that it's just like you can do an EMD, and that's where the ones within 14 days, you're ranking for it straight away. You can be generating thousands of pounds. If you just go too broad and just go roofing, it like you're saying to niche down, a lot of contractors niche down, and a plumber might really like doing wet rooms, but they might not like doing shower rooms, which in my opinion I thought was very similar, but wet rooms are more for commercial, and they make a lot more money in a wet room than they do in a shower room, which is a lot more for like houses and residential, and they don't make as much profit on that. So it's only then when you start speaking to the clients, they then start telling you what converts the best. Where with affiliate, a lot of SEOs in here that do affiliate, they kind of use Ahrefs or SEMrush and just do it by search volume in CPC, thinking, oh, if I start by high CPC, well, some of my niches in that could be earning £20,000 a month plus, in Ahrefs, it shows almost as being a zero traffic value on the website. And it's like, you don't find these kind of services and products without speaking to these businesses. Where if you are introverted and you don't want to speak to clients and you want to do affiliate, lead generation's not for you. If you're happy to pick up the phone, try to speak to the client and they tell you where they make money, you'll find these little micro niches that are very, very profitable.
What keeps you guys motivated? So you mentioned it wasn't about money. So what keeps you going?
All of the crazy parties.
And the best one is in Saigon, right?
In Saigon, yeah.
Good
All the
answer.
vodka.
I've got an addictive personality, and I'll be honest with you, I'm completely addicted to the game of SEO. I absolutely love it. I live and breathe it. I've kind of moved away from now, like I've got 2 amazing kids and an amazing wife, but I want to try and be a good dad, but I also absolutely love SEO as well. So I try and change it from a work-life balance to a work-life integration. So a lot of the time now, a lot of the people that I work with, they come on holiday with us, they know my family, we go and do nice things together. A lot of these events, I love going to these events because, yeah, I do like partying. I have a good time partying with a lot of people in this room. So I just love the whole hustle. I love the whole, it's not just from a monetary point of view, it's just the little dopamine kicks and serotonin kind of rush that you get when you get those rankings, which indirectly leads to money. But then when you're doing it with people that you enjoy working with, you can high-five each other. I also think there's a lot of people, they set too high goals, and they don't set themselves mini goals, that they celebrate those successes along the way. And that's also very, very important for you to do that. So you can high-five someone, go out. If you get to, let's say you're starting out a new YouTube channel. There's one or two the other day saying, I want to start a new YouTube channel. Once you get to 1,000 new subscribers, go out and celebrate that with your friends. Go and take your husband, your wife, whoever it is, away with you, and go and have a weekend away and celebrate that 1,000 subscribers. Too many people then start looking at, let's say, Matt Diggity's got 150,000 subscribers, so I need to get to that level. No, you're miles off that. Celebrate those little wins, and it becomes fun as well, and you can enjoy the journey of while you're doing it.
Cool. And do you use GMBs as well, or are you purely building websites?
Mate, I'd say 99% is websites. I've had a lot of hassle over the years with GMBs, actual real GMBs getting suspended and having to kind of do the video re-verifications, real reviews being removed, as well as like fake reviews that some people do, but actual real reviews and real GMBs being suspended. So I kind of get to a point where I get a GMB, I start ranking it, and then it gets suspended, and then it seems to be like a vicious circle. So me personally, I generally stick with web pages. It's very rinse and repeat strategy that works. That doesn't mean you can't make a lot of money. I know a lot of people that are making 6 figures plus a month on GMBs. There's like citations and reviews and CTR and stuff like that you can do. But for me personally, it's not something that I do, but it is a great strategy.
I would say the only time that we differ in that is if you're directly involved with the business and getting a lot more involved with them, then GMB is perfect, because you shouldn't really get that taken down. And a lot of the time what we actually do in the UK is have the company register a limited company with the, because obviously in the UK, if you start adding in, probably the same in the US as well, you start adding in the keywords into the GMB to try and get it ranking, you often end up with a bit of a slap. So what we try to do is register the exact match company name, so that way straight away out the box we can send that into the Google My Business, and you don't suffer with getting that slap. And that's kind of what we do.
Cool. March update.
March
update. Have you been impacted?
Yes. I've obviously got a lot of different sites. We also don't just do rank and rent. A lot of people know me for rank and rents. We've got a lot of affiliate sites. So we've got a lot of sites hit from the September helpful content update, where I think probably anyone who's got affiliate in here, probably 50% of them have been hit, where it's halved in traffic and it's still in a negative ranking state. I know a lot of high-level SEOs that are still in that problem. So we're still trying to uncover those, what you need to do. I don't really know many people that recovered from the September one. The March one, there's been a few personal attacks on some sites. I've had some personal manual action penalties on the sites that we're now looking to recover. What I would say, if anyone is building out sites, the biggest kind of tip that you need to take away if you've got a lot of different sites is decentralize everything that you do. Every single website that you build, treat almost like you would do as being a PBM, where you want a different Gmail setup, you want different hosting, you want different Cloudflare, everything. Decentralize it all, because if they don't like you for what you've said on one thing about, let's say, parasite SEO or AI content or building backlinks, they will come after everything. So anything that's got connections together, they'll come after. So yes, I've been massively impacted, but you've just got to roll up your sleeves and go again. That's why when I mentioned on the previous question, we've built out 170 new websites. That's because we want to know Google's give me a little bit of a clap, and now I'm going to go, well, I'm going to build 4 times more than what you've clapped.
What he's neglecting to say is actually he's built 170 websites, and we're now professional cleaners. We no longer do SEO. We are a cleaning company now.
Looks like it.
Yeah.
Do you guys also acquire other businesses as well? And if you do, what are the criteria?
So the biggest one that I normally look at is I'll normally look at my profit and loss and stuff that I'm spending money on. Prime example, the way we first started doing the partnership, Karl was the founder of Searcharoo, which was a content and link building agency, and we were spending £80,000 a month on backlinks, like predominantly like guest posts and niche edits and stuff like that. So I was like, I'm not paying £80,000 a month anymore. I want ownership of that business. So he had a business partner called Tom Phillips. He was doing a lot of affiliate stuff. So I presented an offer to Tom Phillips to buy 50% of the business. It made sense just for me personally because then I got a lot of stuff at a lot cheaper rates. So I'm always looking at that. I'm always looking to do, still to this day, I'm always looking for collaborations and seeing what can kind of work alongside what will help me with the sites that I have.
We tend to approach it where we actually we get involved with the other business owners. We don't want to, or we haven't really done it where we buy the entire business and become that business because, again, we quite like working with partners and partnerships, and they're the experts in their niche. It's like what Dooley always says. He says you would never you never say get a house and a house extension, and you wouldn't ask the plumber to build your roof. You'd ask the roofer to build the roof. It's the exact same terminology that we use in the business side is, if they have the expertise in that area, us entering that area, it's going to take us a long time to catch up to the competition if we are unaware of the business.
On a more micro level as well is that if you're looking to start out a new website, I'm a massive advocate of ODYS, but there's other link domain vendors. ODYS provide age domains that have got a decent backlink profile already. The minute you start by using an age domain, you've kind of got that head start over a brand new site because you've already got the DR40 or the DR50, whatever it is. As long as you're keeping the relevance of what it is, or you can also do 301s, but just line up the relevance as best you can. Don't go and get a butcher's website that's redirecting to a casino site because it won't work. But there's certain techniques and tactics that you can go onto expired domains and stuff like that can help you quickly fast track to where you need to be at.
Okay. So earlier you talked a little bit about trust and building trust with clients first. Someone is asking, how do you actually do that? Like what's...
So in your head, you've got to have first 12 months, you're not going to make money. You will do, but in your head, you've got to have, you're not going to make money. You send the leads out to them, and then in time what starts to happen is they start getting leads for what they do. So if they're a carpet cleaning, you're sending them carpet cleaning leads. The first couple that they might get through, they might go, I'm looking to have my rug cleaned in my front room. And they're like, these leads are terrible. But then the fifth lead might be a big hotel comes in and say, we've got a £15,000 budget and we need all of our rooms in the hotel being cleaned. Well, you bet your life on it. 10 minutes after they've got that inquiry, they ring you up and now they're going, how do we get more of those leads? And then you start building relationships. It's not me that speaks to them, but it's my sales team that starts speaking to them. And then they're then asking, how do I get more? And then you've now got them on the hook that they're wanting more. You then start saying, well, at the moment, you're not paying anything. If you start paying some money, we can build you a dedicated site out. And then from there, then you start building the trust.
Okay. How do you guys approach and invest in SEO or the SEO industry in general? So like, do you invest in other companies? And what's your view? I mean, you mentioned a little bit with Searcharoo, getting into that, but have you got other things you're investing in?
Yeah, so I invest in a lot of affiliate sites as well. I love a lot of my industries where we make money in is like local lead gen, very easy to rank, quite long tail, and you can get rankings within a few weeks. But I also then like making certain that I'm in some of the toughest markets with regards to finance, casino, and stuff like that, to make certain that my team are good. So I'll go and buy plenty of sites. There might be, I generally only try to work on, I want a deal. So where some of them might come to me and say, I've been hit with a website, I've got an unnatural links penalty, but we've got a brand that does disavows and gets people out of unnatural link penalties. So for that, some of them kind of start to become demoralized and don't want to pay the money to kind of get the disavow done and then start the momentum going back again with regards to new content, new links. And some of them just don't know. They start building up the sites up and they go too wide, or they build too many links and they get hit. So you see so many sites, bam, and then they don't know how to recover. So a lot of those come to us, and I wouldn't really say we buy in. A lot of them just say, look, we'll give you 30% of the website, and then we then do a collaboration with them, and we'll then fix the problems and then get it back going again. So
the one that we did recently was obviously we're both in the gambling industry, and one that we did recently was a brand that has great social media presence, but when you go into Ahrefs and things, you're like, wow, for such a big social media following and they get loads of retweets and all of this, these guys absolutely suck at SEO.
Yeah.
And then we kind of stepped in and within a month purchased, I think, 35% or something of the business, and within a month we rolled out loads of SEO pages, and all of a sudden the traffic's just skyrocketing. Because it has that brand, it already has people searching for the brand on Google and things. It's kind of an approach we also use is try to find businesses that have branded search because we also feel that it's going to protect that business in the future from future updates.
Yep.
Okay. How do you knock off an existing EMD ranking?
How do you what, sorry?
How do you knock off, or how do you, if there's an EMD already ranking,
Yeah.
how do you sort of get past that?
Better content, more topical authority, and more links. Kind of the fundamentals of SEO is good quality content, topical authority, backlinks, and traffic. They're the main sources. So traffic you can get from running paid ads, social media ads, building up an email list. There's lots of different ways you can generate traffic through to the site. Those user behavior signals. If there's certain tools that people use that can get bypass Google, it's very difficult using proxies nowadays within Google search. But if you can get real people coming to that site, once you start getting more engagement than what the number one result is, even if it is an exact match to the main, you can definitely beat it out. The algorithm's an algorithm, it's a formula, it's a mathematical equation. You've got just to understand what that mathematical equation is. At a basic level, it's good quality content, making certain that if you've not done, let's say, people like Corey's course, or you don't speak to people like Kyle Roof, understand what good quality content means, getting the right entities on the page, getting the right content brief being done, understanding you're doing a full topical map, that you're covering every single gap in content that you've not got, that's relevant to that category, and interlinking all that together, good quality backlinks and traffic.
Kyle always told me that the best content is Latin, so...
Yeah, get some lorem ipsum content
Lorem ipsum.
and place them entities in the right place.
Cool. Last question. We talked a bit about business partnerships. How do you know it's the right person? Like, what are the key things?
One of the things that, I'm going to sound like a raging alcoholic here, but if you're not willing to go and have a beer with someone, then it's probably not the right partnership for you. So kind of go, have a beer with them, relax. If you're feeling quite, anxious around them and things, it's probably not going to work out.
To be honest with you, what I'd say is that Karl obviously is absolutely amazing at choosing business partners, choosing somebody like me. I'm less good at choosing business partners.
Yeah, he never partied
like
till he met me. That was the thing. He never partied at all. He was innocent.
Also, the truth of the matter is, sometimes you don't know. It's like an interview. Like sometimes you can have an interview and you can think that they're brilliant, and when you actually start working together, and actually sometimes when business starts going well and money starts getting involved, people do change. So then you've then got to quickly, if you start not liking working with that person and their morals and what they're about, there's lots of failed business ventures that you can do. You've just got to quickly move on from it and move to the next. And I've made one or two. To be fair, I've actually had some amazing business partners over the years, but there's been one or two that didn't go well. We amicably went our own ways, and that's fine. Like, not every single decision you make is going to be right. Not every single staff member that you're going to employ is going to be right, but that's life.
I almost feel with SEO, you learn how to pivot, or you should definitely learn how to pivot and use that pivoting skill in business as well. Business partners, it's not working out right. How do I get out of the business?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. Guys, thank you very much.
Cheers.
Okay.